Hello guys, today I'm gonna do something different. I am gonna do a tutorial on how I film my videos. I have gotten some requests and it's a little hard to explain in text, and also if more of you wonder, then you have this video. So this is the house I'm currently building from my series I'm Building Your Sims a House, and this is for Aleki. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through the different steps I take, how I do it, what software I'm using. In the end of this video, you hopefully can make your own stop motion build video. So let's jump into it. So first I'm gonna go through the different software or mods that software you will probably need. Mods, it's just mods that make it easier or make it more flawless. So this mod is by Twisted Mexi over on Patreon, and this is called Better BuildBuy, and it's really a game changer. So you can download it from their Patreon, and when you get into your game it will look something like this. So here you will get a new tab that is called Better BuildBuy. And as you see, there's Organized Debug, so if you click that, you have to restart your game, and then the debug catalog will integrate with things you have in your normal inventory. So if you would go to trees and you have Organized Debug, you will also see trees from debug. You can have move objects always on, so when you click this you will always have the move object sheet on, and this sheet, if you don't know, it's bb.moveObjectsOn. But if you have this, it will just automatically always be on. And then ignore unlocks. This is the sheet bb.ignore unlocks entitlement on. I think I will put it on the screen as well. But this sheet makes you be able to get all of the things that you would usually unlock by career or trade or something like that. So as you see this slide, picture perfect art lighting. You can see it says unlock at level 2 of the painter career. But I don't have a sim that is a painter or has unlocked this, it's just unlocked by default. So if you have this on, that sheet is always on, and you get access to the full build catalog. And then deletion protection, I haven't really played with that. I don't really get what it is right now, so if you wonder more about that, Twisted Mexi has a 4-minute crash course in the Patreon page. Oh yeah, more things that come with Better BuildBuy is when you're in this inventory, it has 2 rows normally, but if you press 1 on your keyboard, it will expand. So it takes more space on the screen, but it also makes you be able to browse more easily and find what you're searching for. And then you just press 1 to collapse it again. As you see, I'm in build mode, and you can press tab in build mode. So now you're in tab, and the free moving camera settings are available for you in build mode as well. And this is so useful when you're doing stop motion, because as you will see later on, I build a room and then I delete everything, and then I redo it and take a screenshot, and redo it and take a screenshot. And if you go between build and live mode, those redos will be reset. This also makes it so that the things you can only do in live mode normally, like change the settings on the lights, I press shift and then I just press the light, and now you can change color of the light, and you can also change the dimmer and everything like that you can't normally do in build mode. So you get access to that from Better BuildBuy. And that's all that I think I use from that mod, but it's very handy. So if you want to do a stop motion video, I highly suggest Better BuildBuy by Twisted Mexi. Another great mod to have is also by Twisted Mexi, and is the tool mod. If you want this to work in build mode, you have to have Better BuildBuy. So with this one, it's a little more finicky. You don't need to have it for making stop motion videos. If you want like small and seamless changes, tool mod is a great mod. So to get it up in build mode, I just press Shift T, and then this little window comes up. And you can see there's different options. Move, I haven't figured it out yet, so just ignore that for now. Elevate, you can elevate in objects. If you see without it, you know you can elevate it by pressing 9 or lower it by pressing O. At least on my, I have a Swedish keyboard, so it might be different if you don't have that. So you press on this painting again, and you can take elevate, and then you make small changes, because the first time I did it, I like pressed 12, and then the mirror I was changing was up in the sky, and I just thought it disappeared. But then when I was recording the tour of the house, I realized it was like 50 meters above the house. So make small changes. If you see, if I press 1, it will jump up like that. Just redoing it. And then, like usually for small changes, you can press 0.1 and it will jump up a little. If you want even smaller changes, you just like 0.05 and it just jumps up a little bit. So these are just great to keep small changes. And if you see this one, which I made, this is the mega wall hanging. This one. So this is how normally it looks like, and then I put it there. And then these ones I put rotate. And as you see this green line, it shows what way it's gonna rotate, on which axis. So we can change axis, and now we see it's on the wall, so it means we'll go that direction. So now I can put 90, and now it has rotated 90 degrees on the axis the green line showed. And then if I say now minus 90, it just go back. So the different axes, is that what it's called? Yeah, it just shows what direction. If you look at these books over here, they are in a tilted direction, so I have rotated them on another axis. Change axis, now I think it's on the 4, and now I can take like minus 20 degrees, and it twists a little to that way. And if change axis again, you can take minus 20 degrees again, and you will see it shifted that way. So that's how you use rotate. And then scale, it's the scale of the item. You know, if you don't want the thing you have in, because sometimes I usually use this with rugs because they can be very tedious. You can see this rug. Normal size, I think it's, I just do this empty room here so you can see. The normal size is like this size. If you size it down once, it should be like this. But now I wanted it here, and then you can see that it clips out. So then I wanted to size it down once more, but then I feel like it's a little too small. Not small, but it still clips out a little bit, but I think the size is about right. Then I choose tool mod, I select it, and I put scale, and if it's 1, you know, it's the regular size. So then I maybe put like 0.5, then it's a half of style. Okay, it's a little too small now, so I put 0.65, And there, I think I'm satisfied. So it's just a little finicky, but it gets you more customization with your builds. Yeah, also if you want to move something maybe like this, I can just put Alt and then I can click and then it will move towards the cursor. And you can also put that and then I can just click there and it will teleport. That is a little crash course for tool mod. There's much better tutorials out there. I just wanted to give you a little crash course where to start and how I use it. Then also how I will use it for my stop motion videos. Now, those were the two mods that I use. Now for the software which I use to record. And this is what you're seeing right now, which I'm using. It's OBS Studio, the symbol over here. And I use it for, well, I am recording videos, but you can also use it to stream. It's connected to Twitch if you have that. And it also can connect to Discord. As you can see, it's available for Windows, Apple, or Mac, I guess, and then Linux. You just install it here. If you have 64, that's the usual one. If you have 32-bit, you press that. And then when you download it, you will get this. Now it's like Inception over here because I'm just showing you the window. But I don't think I can really show you that much of it because then it will just stop recording. But I have different scenes here. It just changes what I so speed builds. This is my big screen. This monitor that I use for Sims, you can see my mic input is over here. And then the desk sound, like what comes from the game. Yeah, and then there are different, like if you want to choose between scenes, like if you're streaming, you can just click here and then you can get like face cam or whatever you have. So I'm a beginner at this one. There are much more advanced things, but just look at a tutorial like how to set it up and it'll be good. Then I also have set shortcuts. So for me to record, I just press Control R, and then for pausing the recording, Control P, you know, just whatever works for you. Also, should have started with that, but OBS is also completely free, and it's a very good software. Many of your creators have it, and I also got it as a suggestion by multiple creators on TikTok. So it's just very good, it's free, and it works so well. I also know that I think Little Simsy has also mentioned that she uses it on her live streams. So I mean, if it's good enough for her, it's good enough for us. Now, next little bit of software is what I use to edit. And it's not, okay, it started with Windows, editor. Whatever it was called, like it's just called like video editor on the computer. So if you don't have the space on your computer to really download anything, then like that's fine. I don't judge anyone. I have done a lot of videos through that. I mean, if it works, it works. Don't knock it till you try it, you know. But this is a little more advanced. It has more settings, and that's a free software also first. It's free. Everything that I use here today is free except the game, of course, and the computer and stuff. But all the software that I use except The Sims to record is free. It's available on Mac and Linux as well. And it's just very easy, I think. It's just a lot of drag and drop. And I will show you when we come to that state. There are a lot of tutorials out there for it, and if you see my TikTok videos that I have, like the build video, and then around it is like this sized up blurred filler for the video. I also learned that from a tutorial on YouTube. There are a lot of filters that you can correct the sound, and you can correct like the color gradients. I'm not that advanced. I like drag and drop and then I'm done with it. Sometimes I use the EQ, but usually when I do voiceover for things, I do that in Ableton, which is like, that's more advanced, is because I do music too, so I know how to produce music, and therefore I have Ableton, which is a like where you record music. So it's a little more advanced, but if you just want a little better, you can just use your like headphones you got with your phone or a headset, and there are some EQs in Shotcut. If you want me to go into more how you could elevate your sound in your videos with like easy EQs and such, let me know, because I do have some education in it, so that's actually something I can confidently say that I can help you with. Now we're in the game. As you can see, this is a little spoiler, because if you follow me on TikTok, they haven't seen this yet. Okay, so it's a little spoiler for you, little sneak peek. I'm really proud of this build. So today I'm gonna record this room, which is the last one I made. It's a little kid's room in the, like, what do you say? The attic. Oh wow. That word totally fell out of my brain. This is the room. I have built it. So like the first thing you do is, I mean, you can just make the stop motion as you go. However, I find it easier to build the room so I know where to put the camera angles, and also the steps. Like, you don't do unnecessary work because you know you have built it and what's supposed to go there. So you just don't take unnecessary pictures. So you need to delete it backwards. So what you first will be deleting is the last thing that is going to show up in the stop motion. So I usually delete the lamp first, or the apparent lamp. I use these little saucer lights and just size them down. It's usually like this size, and then I just size it down to just light up the space, and they also are kind of invisible. Because if you have this pendant light and then you go into tab mode, and it shows that sometimes it can be very obstructive and get in the way of your shots. So usually I delete that first, but still make sure that it's properly lit up. And then you're gonna delete it backwards. So I think I'm gonna like go around the room, and then maybe I end with this one, so I can go out the door and then go into the next room that I will be doing. So I usually end up like, first you want to see the big furniture. Think as you were decorating a real room. What are the details you would put last? Yeah, the decoration. So let's delete the decoration first. Like, if you want, you can just delete it like this. And then if you see, like, when you put it in stop motion, it will just go back like that. But if you want to make some more detail with the stop motion, you can press Alt, so it's free-based, and then you can put like that. Then you can drag it a little more outside, and then you can drag it a little more forward, and then delete it. So if you look now, it will more than just disappearing. It will look like it's appearing and being placed instead of just coming out of nowhere. And you can also do this by elevating it, and then tool mod is really great when there's pieces that just slap. You can just use tool mod, and then you could elevate it just a little bit, like 0.2 maybe, and then you do that sometimes more, and maybe then you delete it. But this one, you need to open tool mod again. So Control C, now it's back. Then you need to put in tool mod again and press Control C, because this is all happening in tool mod. So every change you make in tool mod, you need to have tool mod open to reverse. I will just redo that. The first times I didn't really know what to do. I was just like deleting stuff and getting them up again. So you will find what works for you and what you have time for, because this takes a lot of time if you want to be like so detailed with it. Then this one, you can like be creative with it. You can also like size it down. So it's like when you speed it up, then in post, it will just look like it basically blooms from the wall or from the floor. But you can also do, I think I'm gonna do both and then just show you the differences. You can also use this and then just move it up. So now it will just look like it drops down from the ceiling basically. And with this, I think I'm gonna do it so it shrinks. So now we have all the 3 different ones. You can also use tool mod for this and scale it down like 0.001, because then it will basically disappear. Or you can just delete it like that. So now you set up the camera angle. Usually I set up the camera angle with everything in frame. So that we know what to expect. So put in tab, press Q to lower, E to higher the angle. Also use the little wheel on your mouse to zoom in and zoom out with the camera. And then to set the camera, you press Control and you choose one of the numbers from 5 to 9 on your keyboard. So now I choose Control, then I choose 6. So now if I press 5, it's the vision from the house, and then if I press 6, it will snap to this one. And if I press 8, this is where it's at 8. So that is how you get the transitions. If you don't have a reshade, just press C to take a screenshot, and then it will collect. I will show you the file where it collects. Just putting it back. But if you have reshade, you have to go into the settings of the reshade and choose which buttons you should push for it to take a screenshot with the reshade. And then you also choose what folder it should go in. So I just decided Control C because it was just easier to remember, and you saw it coming up that it has taken a picture. Now we have deleted everything, and we put Control, no tab, 6, screenshot, and this is what you're gonna do. So now we have all of the screenshots, and I am gonna be opening Shotcut. So now I'm in my folder, and you just open your folder, and then you go to this computer, documents, or I have it in documents, and then electronic arts, and then you double click The Sims 4, and here is everything you have in your game. So if you want to download mods, you put the files just in mods. And then if you record videos in the game, there will be here recorded videos, and if you want screenshots, you press screenshots. So here are all my screenshots I have taken in game, and then I have this folder from the reshade, which I used in my settings from the reshade program. And then I have this subfolder where I store everything from this video. And then I just choose all of those and I transfer them. So now I have all the screenshots in here. And now you see I started Shotcut. So this is how it will look when you have opened it. And I'm just gonna find the right folder. And then you just write in the name like that. And then I usually do my first thing in just HD quality 60 FPS. Start. So now we have the file or the project. Now we have this file with all of the screenshots. And then I just mark them all and export them. So it's just like drag and drop, easy. And now you can see this is your timeline and this is what the video will look like. So the pictures are set in these certain pace. So now we just have to decide how long we want the clips to be. So I'm just gonna here press mark with your cursor, press S and then X to delete the rest of it. Now we see the transition. I'm just gonna do that. Now it's pretty slow, so it looks a little like unnatural. Just make them shorter. So now it looks like it grows. And then you can make it even shorter and faster if you want to. This is just like your own taste. Just be creative with it and do what you think is nice. It would just grow up pretty fast. That's what happens. They grow so fast. So I like to, because now there's focal point is the dresser. Okay, what is happening? The dresser is coming up. So now the dresser is here, and then I take the clip of the dresser. I make it a little bit longer so you have time to see and acknowledge the dresser. Because if everything is like too fast paced, it would just be a mess. So if you see, if I make this really short as well, it's just like, oh, now there's already a new thing. I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna do the same thing with the clothes coming down. So like if it's just like this, I mean it's good, but I just prefer having a little more time to just see the dresser. And then the same with the clothes. So now they're also in observation a little longer. And then I'm just gonna keep doing that, and I'll see you when I'm done. So now we have the entire clip. And that's it. I am gonna do it with the entire room, and then I'm gonna come back to you so you can see the final result. But as you see, it's not the right format for TikTok. So I do file, new project, and then I have the same file, but now I was like format, I don't know what it says in English, but now we get non-broadcast. And then in the bottom, at the lesser vertical, HD 60 FPS. Then you press start, and then you have the file which you exported, put that in there. And now you see when we play it, it just looks like this. So for it to fill out, we need to track operations, add a video track. And now you just press Ctrl V, and it was not in the right. But if you have your cursor on the first, then you can just press Ctrl V and it will double. So now we have two files and they look exactly the same, so it won't be everything different here. However, if you go to the bottom one, press that, mark it, press filter, plus, and now it should be on the favorites, size, positioned, and rate. Now I have a preset that is just called sim stock, but if you see here, you can see my position. So if I just, you can see it marks the area where the video is, and you can just drag it out. Now you see it's in the background. That's why it's important that you take the second file, because if you take the first video track, it will just be on the top. So if you see, if I did this, it would just be on top of the other one. So that's why we want to do the bottom. And you can just select here what you think is appropriate. You can also use this right here. I just like to have it pretty big so you can't see, because sometimes it's like confusing if you see too much detail in both windows. That's why we gotta add the blur. So this is I have zoomed like 475%. And then you press the plus again when you have found what you think is appropriate for the zoom. And then you press video and scroll down to blur. Now these are different blurs. In the tutorial I found it was blur box. So I just found that easier. Now you can see it just looks like normal, but when you add this, you will see it starts to blur. So these are like the little pixels that get blurred. So you just find something that you can still, it's not supposed to look like you have a headache. It's supposed to look like, oh, it's supposed to be. So I have 32 times 29. And now it's probably gonna lag since it's thinking still. But yeah, that's what I do with my videos in Shotcut. Then I just press export. And then I use this original high profile. Then you just add it to your folder, press save, and now you can see over here that it's exporting. And this will take a little longer than the other one since it's like 2 tracks, so it's a little more work for it. But yeah, I'll see you with the results. Now the entire video is up on my TikTok at Junks Builds. And if you want to, it would be amazing if you put that subscription button and maybe the bell, you know, wouldn't hurt. And I would love for you to like and comment if this helped you, and if you want tutorials of something else, maybe how to edit sound, or just some like tips and tricks on building. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video on Saturday. Bye!